नमो नमः। वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माता जी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। ओंकारं बिन्दुसंयुक्तं नित्यं ध्यायन्ति योगिनः कामदं मोक्षदं चैव ओंकाराय नमो नमः। वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माता जी Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha.
Jai Mataji. Let's start the meditation with a collective namaskar and let's raise our Kundalini. Namaskar Kundalini.
Now, what does he do? He thinks that he understands in no time that his mother is much greater than the Mother Earth. So, why should I go around the Mother Earth? His brother is going around on a peacock. He just goes round his mother. He gets the present. It's such a simple thing to understand because he is the wisest person. The wisest person knows what is what. He knows who is who. He knows what are the qualities of these persons. He is not impressed by superficial things. No. If somebody is well dressed, then people get very much impressed by them. And they turn out to be bank robbers, walking with umbrellas and lined suits as if some big executives are coming, and they decamp with all the loot. So for a wise person, the superficial behavior doesn't appeal, not bother. It is a kind of a very penetrating intelligence, just like a computer, In a second you know that what is this gentleman. Oh, he may come with a great to see and oh, and he might come and praise you and do this and do that. And you know the person very well. If somebody is unduly very friendly, very kind, very nice, not necessarily that he is really appreciating you, but he is looking at your purse maybe. Maybe something else. But not only on this level, it is even on a spiritual level we have to understand. How people try to put you down spiritually. What they try, what tricks they try on you. It could be your husband, your wife, your children, your relations, your friends, anybody, any surgery. But in the case of Shri Ganesha, it's the other way round. They say that if you put one apple, bad apple, all the apples get spoiled. But if you put Shri Ganesha among all the bad apples, they'll get all right. Because he is the life-giving force. This is one of the greatest qualities, that he knows that he is the source of life and he gives life, he gives Chaitanya. He doesn't think that now supposing I give Chaitanya, give life to this person, my ego will come up. Very common problem. Mother, I don't want to do it because my ego will come up. Everybody is psychoanalyzing themselves. Because this will happen. Baba, you are all realized souls now. You are all saints. The false people are talking so big, and you, the people who have got something, are still thinking, my ego will come up, this will happen. No, you have the powers. But as you keep it under a measure, as Christ has said, the light will go out. You have to give it to others. You have to open it out. And that is how you will judge your state. What is my state? Let's see. Where am I? That confidence, take it from me, should be with you. All of you have to work out this way. When Mother my Muladhara is got up, how dare anybody catch Muladhara? That's the anger of Shri Ganesha. How dare? How can anybody do that? What's missing is complete faith in yourself and faith in your mother. In Russia recently, in Prague, there was a lady who was brought on the stage. very old lady, she couldn't walk. I mean, they just carried her. And she came and sat before me on a chair. She said, I know I'll be cured. I'm in your presence. I know I will be cured. I said, then get up. She got up. Those who were with me in Prague, you can ask them. She came down and she started running. And everybody laughed. But her faith, she was not a Sajogini as such, but she was sure she knew me. And she just started running like that, and everybody started looking at her. Same thing happened in Russia for many people. Very serious diseases. So that one thing is for sure. Either you don't know that you are realized souls, or else you don't know me. One of the two things. Why was he so obedient to his mother? Why was he? Because that was the wisest thing to do. The one who knows everything is better to be guided by that person. And many a times I have seen people try to do things without telling me important things. They fall into traps. Then they come back to me. I tell them the solution, it works. It's not necessary that you should tell me everything. But when you are in a fix, you can always just go into yourself and ask yourself, what would mother do? You will get the answer. You are at quite a higher state. But still, even if you are on a tree and you are still thinking you are falling down, you are nowhere. Steady yourself. That's what is, we say, the adhishtan of Shri Ganesha, is the steadiness. Steadiness in your achievements of Sajo. Believing in yourself that you have entered into the new world, into the new atmosphere. It is for you now to work it out. Shri Ganesha is just waiting. But he is not meant for people who have no courage. Such a courageous man who could go and fight with all the devas. Because he knew the Shakti was with him. Today is such a joyous day for me because we have children and we are dealing with children. Most of them are born realized. They are of a very special category. I have told you many a times. But we spoil them because we were not born realized. So we don't know how to handle these special children. We spoil them. Not only we spoil them, but we interfere with the school, we interfere with this, as if we are the wisest parents ever given. Because we are Sahajogis, we have to be much more sensible than other parents. How can you interfere with any school anywhere? But in Sahajoga you will. It is because there is no wisdom and no understanding what is good and benevolent for your child. If you love your child, then you must think of its benevolent. You must learn from the experience what happens to children if they are left like that. You cannot spoil your child. You cannot. Because it's a special category of children they are. They are not children who can become vagabonds. They cannot become thieves. So you will make them something funny. They are neither here nor there. They are born realized and they have to be channelized properly to achieve their complete manifestation of their spirit. So the possessiveness and the stupid attachments to children must be given up. There is no force on you. If you want to destroy a child, you can destroy. But in an advice, if you are Ganeshas, you would have understood it. I don't have to explain so much. What is good for your child? Because we have to have beautiful children. They are born beautiful children, I tell you. If they are spoiled, it is because of you. You have spoiled them. You have ruined them. You are responsible. I know of so many children. They are very, very sweet. I have conference with them also. And I find them much more congenial. I have much better rapport with them than I can have with you. They never argue. Never. They never says no. And they have very good information about all of you. So it is such a nice thing that today we should desire that our children should very soon become the images of Shri Ganesha, his Ganas, who have to work out so much. It's a tremendous task. Sajoga is the greatest achievement of spiritual evolution. We all have to dedicate ourselves. You don't have to sacrifice anything as the saints have sacrificed. Nothing. You don't have to suffer anything. Only thing, you have to have wisdom. For that, I am very happy that today we are worshipping Shri Ganesha. So the pure desire should be that Shri Ganesha, please give us divine wisdom. That's all. It contains everything in it. May God bless you. Apart from that, it was a very beautiful place and very relaxing for all of you. The reason is, I found this place had vibrations which will clear you out very easily, first of all. But you have to desire it, really, ardently. You should have that desire, otherwise the Kundalini may not rise. That is very important point. That you have to desire your ascent, nothing else. It's not a place you have come for holiday or just for some sort of a relaxation or for some enjoyment or sleeping or anything. But you have come here for a penance, for a tapasya. To clear out yourself completely. This is a place of Sri Ganesha's temple, which is not very much frequented by people and is still very, very pure. And I thought the Ganesh principle will be awakened in you, which is the source of everything. Sri Ganesha's principle, as you know, in a very large way or expansive way, we call it the innocence. But we do not know the intricacies and the details to which it can go and work it out. Sri Ganesha's innocence has a tremendous power to purify people, to make you holy, to make you auspicious. A person who has got Sri Ganesha's principle awakened is auspicious in his presence. Such a person, whenever he moves, things move in a direction that the coefficients works out. It becomes absolutely auspicious. Auspiciousness cannot be achieved without Sri Ganesha's help. Now this auspiciousness, now we Yogis believe into, that there is something like auspiciousness by which everything works out smoothly, everything we feel is done by God's power, that we are all the time wanted by, loved by surroundings and the atmosphere. But this understanding can only come if you have that pure desire within you that you have to ascend. You have come here to ascend, not to enjoy yourself or a place of resort or something like that. This principle is very much awakened, as you see, in the local people here. And how Spartan they are, how hardworking. They have been awake for days together and nights together, but still they are very, very relaxed and they do not need any help. Just in that enthusiasm they are working. So the second blessing of Ganesha is that he is playful. He is prasanna. He is always a pleasing personality. He dances, he pleases you, he has ways and methods of pleasing you. And in the same way, a person who has that awakened Ganesha within him is all the time a very pleasing personality. Not a drowned out faces, not a face that repels you, the face that makes you feel unhappy, but is a personality that makes you very easy, very understandable, likable, that sort of a personality you develop. But so far as the life has been abroad, I have seen that the situation has been very different. And the aggressiveness and the quarrelsomeness, we can say, the hurting capacity is so overdeveloped that you have to somehow or other succumb completely to the auspiciousness of Sri Ganesha. Because all the instruments that were to be used for spreading Sahaj Yoga or for spreading the love of God, for spreading auspiciousness of God, working out His designs and plans and adjusting yourself to the laws of God's desires, it was very important that we should have had our instruments done in such a way that they were absolutely useful. On the contrary, we have misused them, spoiled them, and have completely made them unholy. So that's another point. We have to look at ourselves here. What have we been doing to ourselves? What is the need for us to make ourselves unholy? And why should we be unholy? When Sri Ganesha is there, we can make ourselves very holy, auspicious. Now, no use believing that we are perfect. Those who believe like that cannot ascend. Everybody must know there are lots of imperfections, and these imperfections in me that should be conquered with and to be found out. Only in the light of Sri Ganesha's innocence you can see. A little child can show you how we are stupid and foolish and how we behave. So many times you must have seen children come out of with such utterances that the elders are put to shame. So the childlike temperament can be developed if we awaken Shri Ganesha's principle within ourselves, which is a very, very powerful, very, very powerful deity, very powerful deity. Because a child, supposing one child is lost, say a child runs away, or if a child is hanging somewhere on a tree, the whole community will rush to take out the child. The concern will be there. Even in the Western countries, I have seen if one little girl is tortured, everybody is worried about the child. Everybody opposes that. Maybe there are some horrible people, no doubt. Maybe there are more than there are here. But one gets concerned. So child itself is a very sort of a source of getting all the protection from everywhere. Because the child is growing. The child is growing. Everybody wants to help the child. So in the same way, when this Ganesha principle is developed into you, you realize that you have to grow. You are still growing. A little child learns so many words in such a short time that we cannot learn afterwards when we are grown up. Say after 60, if you have to learn even 3 sentences is impossible. So the child is growing, and his curiosity and his capacity to know more things is also very much sharp. And he starts learning more. He doesn't think he knows everything. The ones who think like that are not yet born properly. I don't know anything. I have to know this. I have to know that. I have to know that. I don't know anything so far. And the children do it so easily. You must have seen. Little bit you do this way or that way. They immediately follow. So what you have to do is to know that you are still in a child stage. You are growing. We have to humble down, and we have to know a lot. And from wherever we have to know, we have to know. The arrogance, the idea that we know a lot itself is very, very dangerous for the growth. Very dangerous. And that is what one has to give up and should know that we do not know anything. But we have to know. Many people who come to Sahaja Yoga settle down as we are Sahaja Yogis, but don't know a word about Sahaja Yoga. So many of them, especially the ladies, I am surprised. They know very little about Sahaja Yoga. It's rather surprising. Now in Sahaja Yoga, there's nothing like women and men. Everybody has equal rights. It's not the job of women just to sing songs. No, it's not. They have to know each and everything about Sahaja Yoga. They have to know what are the diseases, how they are cured, what are the mental problems, how are these chakras are made. Everything they have to know, the medicine, they have to know the psychology, they have to know the divine powers. Everything they have to know how it works out. And that ignorance will never be forgiven. Because you are the ones who have to talk about it to us. The third thing is, a child is never a silly person, never silly. He never does something in a silly way. While you see many people who are brought up in a very strict way become suddenly very silly at an old age. Very silly. This phenomena I see much more in the West. Suddenly they become trying to be very youngish type and just they'll clap like this and start behaving in a very funny manner. I used to wonder what's wrong with them. Why are they behaving like this, you see? But it is, I think, they're bottled up. And then suddenly they try to behave, but they are not. A child is never a silly person. On the contrary, if somebody is silly, they say, he's a clown. They come and tell me, he's a clown, He's not all right. Or he's a buffoon. Whatever words they know, they'll express. They don't like. They start wondering, what's the matter with this person? So all these things come to us because we have no idea that we have to grow in a steady understanding, awareness. Not in how you express yourself in Sahaja Yoga, how you do things in Sahaja Yoga. It is how you are aware of it inside. In the same way, emotionally, when I say something, I don't think people understand what I mean. Now I said that you put on bindis. Again, I find you are just the same. At least here you should. This is Ganesha's mark. They would not put it. So many times I've said, how much the time does it take to put it on? Now, this is a very common things that are going on. Now, another thing is that, you see, a child doesn't want to be disabled at all. Today, one child had gone for a bath and he was coming back. His father wanted him to see me. He said, no, my clothes are not all right. My hair are all disabled. How can I see mother? So he went back, he put some oil on his hair, properly dressed up smartly. When we were young, we always knew all the Western people were very smartly dressed, properly groomed. They would never come with disabled hairs. But he said, no, my hair are disabled. How can I go and see mother? So we have to give up these funny ideas of fashions and all that, because this will all go away. You lose your hair, you'll all become bald-headed to look very funny. There's no wisdom in it. But a child has a wisdom, he wouldn't come. He dressed up himself properly, then he came and stood before me. And this is what we have to understand, that our appearances are the expression of our inner being. We have to do certain things because we do not know how to accept things, how to do things like a child does. A child, if you tell him anything, he obeys and he listens. Otherwise, the child is not a normal child. In India, if there's a child who doesn't obey, they just thrash him nicely, put him in the room for 3 days, make him starve, put him right. Nothing doing. That doesn't mean that people are harsh here with children. Nobody kills children or anything. But you have to be very, very careful with your children. You shouldn't allow them to be lousy, to be untidy, to be languid, like lotus eaters, you see, or like people who have no smartness about them. We are all such yogis, and you have to be like that, in that way. A child's another attribute is that he hits always the principle of everything. Always the principle. A child sees to the principle of everything. And the questions they ask sometimes is so remarkably collective that I'm surprised how they go to that point. They never waste time in frivolous things. Never. Never waste time in frivolous things, talking of frivolous things, nothing of the kind. I haven't seen children talking about their clothes or about the seats they have got or the houses, nothing of the kind. They are busy doing some construction, very busy, you see. You ask them what are doing. See, we are trying to tie up the whole of the airport or the whole of Bombay. Like that they will tell you. They are very busy people. If you see realized souls who are children, they are always worried about the collective. And that's what should be your situation, that you should be all the time worried about the collective.
Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Let's sit very comfortably. Let's put both hands on the floor. Attention above Sasrara. At the stage where we are, we need to do it very automatically. Attention above Sasrara, we are collectively together at a very high level, as if you were only one being, one gigantic divine being who has a seat, and this seat is Mother Earth. Both hands on the floor, Shri Ganesh mantra. Om Twameva Sakshat Shri Ganesha Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Shri Adi Bhumi Devi mantra. with full awareness of Mother Earth and full surrendering to Mother Earth. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Adi Bhumi Devi Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Shri Ganesha, you who resides in Mother Earth, as the magnet at the center of the planet, as the innocence in the nature, as the direction compass in the birds, in the fish, and in many species. Please clear our Muladhara and make our Muladhara strong and powerful. Take over our life and remove all the obstacles at any level, collectively and individually in our lives. Give us the required awareness to be fully one with you and express and manifest all your qualities. Protect us from front, back, left, right, above, below, and everywhere, day and night, and for eternity. Keep us always in your divine attention. Destroy all the obstacles and all the enemies. Now let's put left hand on the lap, right hand still remains on the floor. Ganesha Tarvashirsha, with a pure collective desire to establish Shri Ganesh in us. Om Namaste Ganapataye Tvameva Pratyaksham Tattvamasi Tvameva Kevalam Kartasi Tvameva Kevalam Dartasi Tvameva Kevalam Hartasi Tvameva Sarvam Kalvidam Brahmasi Tvam Sakshat Atmasi Nityam Ritam Vakshmi Satyam Vakshmi Avatvamam Avavaktaram Avashrotaram Avadhataram Avadhataram Avanuchanam Avashishyam Avapashatat Avapurastat Avotaratat Avadakshinatat Avashurvatat Avadharatat Sarvatomam Pahi Pahi Samamtat Tvang Mayas Tvam Shin Maya Tvam Ananda Mayas Tvam Brahma Maya Tvam Satchitananda Dityosi Tvam Preksham Brahmasi Tvam Jnana Mayo Vijnana Mayosi Sarvam Jagadidam Tvato Jayate Sarvam Jagadidam Tvatastishtati Sarvam Jagadidam Tvayi Layameshyati Sarvam Jagadidam Tvayi Pratyeti Tvam Bhumi Rapo Nalo Nilo Nava Tvam Shatvari Vakvadani Tvam Gunatrayatita Tvam Dehatrayatita Tvam Kalatrayatita Tvam Muladhara Sitosinityam Tvam Shakti Trayatmakaha Tvam Yogino Dhyanti Nityam Tvam Brahmas Tvam Vishnus Tvam Rudras Tvam Indras Tvam Agnis Tvam Vayus Tvam Surya Tvam Chandramas Tvam Brahma Bhurbuva Svarum Ganadim Purva Musharya Manadin Taranam Anushwara Parataraham Adendulastam Tarina Rudam Itattava Maniswarupam Akar Purvarupam Akaro Madhyamarupam Anushwara Shantyarupam Indurutara Rupam Anasandanam Ahita Sandihi Seisha Ganesha Vidya Ganakarishihi Nishri Gayatri Chanda Ganapatir Devata Om Gang Ganapate Namaha Ekadantaya Vidmahe Vakratundaya Dimahi Tanudanti Prashodaya Kadantam Shaturastam Vasham Ankushadarinam Radamsha Vardamastayir Vivranam Ushakdvajam Raktam Lambodaram Shurpa Karnakam Rakta Vasasam Rakta Gandhanu Liptangam Rakta Pushpahi Supujitam Maktanu Kampinam Devam Jagat Kanarama Ashutam Avirbhutam Shashishadu Prakrute Purushat Param Evam Jayati Yonityam Sa Yogi Yoginam Baraha Namo Bratapataye Namo Ganapataye Nama Pramatapataye Namaste Astu Lambodaraya Ekadantaya Vinanashine Shivasutaya Shri Varadamutaye Namo Namaha Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha we must steady our attention. Attention must go very high above Sahasrara, and we must collectively feel the complete presence of the Lord Ganesh. We should have a very strong and collective attention, totally focused on the Lord Ganesh above Sahasrara, totally surrender to the Lord Ganesh. And we must feel that our Muladhara is being nourished, fortified, empowered by the Lord Ganesh. Let's collectively surrender to our collective attention. Let's say Shri Mahakali Bhairava in order to clear our whole left side. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Mahakali Bhairava Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Now let's put the right hand on the lap, the left hand on the floor. Shri, Ganesha, please clear with the help of your brother Shri Kartikeya the right side of our Muladhara. Om Twameva Sakshat, Shri Kartikeya Sakshat, Shri Adi Shakti Mataji, Shri Nirmala Devi, Namo Namaha. Shri Mataji, you are truly the destroyer of all the demons in us. Let's put now the both hand on the lap. Attention above Sahasrara. In the silence of Sahasrara, let's say Shri Adi Kundalini Mata mantra. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Adi Kundalini Mata Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Once again, Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Adi Kundalini Mata Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Total surrender in the Sahasrara dimension. Let's try and keep our heart open and be completely surrendered to our mother, who is Shri Ganesh.
आकारं बिन्दुसंयुक्तम् नित्यं ध्यायन्ति योगिनः कामदं मोक्षदं चैव ओंकाराय नमो नमः। वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माता जी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः।
जय श्री माता जी। कलेक्टिव नमस्कार कुंडलिनी।